Hello developers, hello family. In today's episode we're gonna talk a bit about some approach that I found very useful, which is called Docs as code or documentation as code. It is mainly regarding the fact that we can keep in our Git repository not only the source code but also any documentation evolving along with the code itself. Yeah. So like always, let's start by reviewing the commit. So what I did, I added, like always, some new entry to the architecture log with the documentation section here. And of course, here is the link to the ADR, Architecture Decision Record, ADR number 4, follow docs as code principles. So let's review that first. Here we have the log. Let's open this one. Yep, so here we have the follow docs as code practices. It is also added here in form of the mind map. Yep, ADR 04 here. So let's click it. Main idea of keeping the docs as code practices is to, as I said, to add the documentation to the repository along with the code, which helps a lot with version control and traceability. There is a very often problem with the versioning documentation against the code itself. Yeah, so we have very often we have the documentation that is outdated from the source code. We cannot easily compare connect the current existing code to a current documentation. Keeping the documentation along with the code might help with that. Of course, if we do that properly. Consistency is what I said. Yeah, single source of truth. This is the very important aspect of keeping any information. If you have the single source of truth, you are prepared for many cases, many situations. Yeah, where is the information? It is there in the Git repository. Yeah, collaboration review. Yeah, if you treat the documentation in the same way as the source code, you can modify it, you can create pull requests to it. Yeah, you can review the documentation and you can then merge it to make it, let's say, to approve it. Yeah, let's say. And the last one, automation and formatting. Yeah, automation means that because we keep the entire documentation in form of Markdown documents, MD extension, we can also do many automated things. For example, we can test the documentation, or we can convert it automatically with, for example, some pipeline, some tool, whatever is needed to the desired format. Yeah, for example, HTML. If this is the, for example, user manual, we can easily convert, have a tool, or have a pipeline converting the. While deploying the source code, we can also create the latest user documentation from this code, from the same single source of truth, and publish it along with the code. So those things might give us a lot of things. So this approach might give us a lot of such things. So what we're gonna keep? Yeah, I here placed few additional folders, like analysis folder, and here is the first markdown file with the analysis log, let's say. Yeah, here we're gonna evolve it further, involve it more in the future, but this is the first step. Yeah, we're gonna keep analytical documentation as code here, probably in many documents, not only in the single one. There will be there might be here a very huge folder structure. Yeah, that's the first. Of course, we already keep the architectural log as code, so that's what we do so far. But we will also keep a software development process lifecycle description here as code, as Markdown document. What that gives us? First of all, new employee can new employer can come and see what is the current software development lifecycle. And moreover, we can also tweak, we can change our development process just by creating new pull requests. We can propose, anybody in the team can propose some change into the software development process just by creating the pull request. And this is very often that during the Scrum retrospective meeting, you find out that we might improve something. Doesn't matter what. But then, if you want to introduce that, implement that into the team, you can use this approach. Just create a separate branch, dedicated branch for the SDLC change. Prepare it. Let's approve it. Let's let team check it, approve it, and merge, and finally change the way the software development process is implemented, is executed. And another thing is that we're gonna keep here also a release log. Release log will be here automatically generated. I will create another set of videos regarding the release log. But these are the three main things that we will keep here as Dosc code, but many other here, like user's manual documentation. Yeah, some metrics, some management things, managing related things can be also kept here as code, evolving with code, versioned with code, so we could then trace it further to see how it was going through the entire process life cycle. And that's it. That's just a basic idea. One of the fundamental ideas is to keep not only the code in the Git repository, but also the entire documentation and prepare tools for that. That's it. Stay tuned. Remember that always there is down here a link to the source code on Git repository. But what else? You can, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, just write it as a comment down here. And please hit subscribe and like. Thank you.